Hey girls, so it is time for my week 7 pregnancy vlog. I have it written down here, I'm either 7 weeks today or I'm 7 weeks and 3 days. I have gotten a due date from my OB of November 29th, but the last ultrasound that I had, I was measuring 7 weeks in 1 day, and they gave me a due date of November 24th. So since that's 5 days different, they said my doctor might want to change my due date. If it's a week different, that's when they'll change it. However, with my son, we had the same situation. I ovulated early with him, and the whole pregnancy, they were like, he's measuring a week ahead. And I wound up getting induced because he was, 8 pounds and 4 ounces, and we were worried what he was going to gain in the next week and if I would be able to deliver and all this stuff. So I would really rather them change my due date than tell me my baby is measuring big the whole time. I don't know. I'm going to talk to her about when I see my doctor on the 20th. So when I see her, I will talk with her about all of that. So what has been going on this week? I'm growing, like you guys saw last week. I don't know, I just feel silly almost saying that I am growing this early, but it's true. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm not eating bad. I weaned my son a couple weeks ago, and I got to go back into my pre-pregnancy bras. And seriously, like already, I'm back into my nursing bras because I like lost the cup size or two for like a week and they're right back. So I don't have any sensitivity or anything like that. I've been tired this week. Every time I get a chance, I take a nap. I try to go to bed early. If I don't go to bed early, I make sure that I take a nap. It's like one or the other. I'm still nauseous if I get hungry, but when I was at work it was Monday morning, around 5 in the morning, because I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. At like 5 in the morning, I got the closest I've ever been in pregnancy period with my son and in this pregnancy to puking. Like, I had like my saliva started like building up, you know, that feeling you get like right before you're gonna throw up. I had that, and it came out of nowhere. I was just like working, and I was like, oh, I feel really crappy right now all of a sudden. And I had 2 options. I could, 1, go in the bathroom and throw up, or 2, I could run to the kitchen and try to eat something really quick. So I ran to the kitchen, I opened a thing of yogurt, and I tried to scarf that down really quick, and it took care of it. But, you know, had I not had food right, like, in an arm's reach, I probably would have been sick. It was the closest I've ever been, and I'm not really a puker, but yeah, that hit me. That surprised me, and I was like, oh no. So hopefully that doesn't get worse or happen again. And another thing about work, and this is how I know that I'm growing, and we'll measure here in a minute, but I am having a hard time being comfortable in my scrubs. You know, most shirts are like stretchy material and they give a little. Scrubs are like bed sheets. They're like not stretchy at all. They're there, that's their size, they're not going to change. And I am filling them up. The scrub tops, the pants are fine. The scrub tops are like, I'm like from the front to the back of them, and that's not how they normally fit me. I don't know. I feel really strange showing this early. I don't know if I'm showing, but I'm definitely growing. And when I was pregnant before, I started wearing maternity clothes at around 12 weeks. And this past week is just, I don't know. It's not something that like, it's there one day and then like I go to the bathroom or I sleep and I wake up and the stomach's gone. Like, no. It's there. It's there to stay, I think. Now that being said, I've still total only gained 1 pound. So It's not like weight that I've gained. I'm not saying the baby's like huge or anything, because yeah, it's like the size of a blueberry or something. But I don't know, my body's like, oh yeah, I remember what to do when you're pregnant, and it's just growing. So, okay, and another thing, and this might be disappointing to some of you guys, and I'm sorry, but my husband and I have decided this pregnancy, we are going to find out the gender, but we're going to keep it to ourselves. So, it's going to be so hard because I am not one to keep things to myself. This is our plan as of right now. I don't know if we'll be able to keep it a secret, but we really want to, and here's why. Last time I was pregnant, we shared the pregnancy with everyone, with grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Like, seriously, when we had our gender ultrasound, I think there was like 10 people in the room with us. And it was fine. It was exciting. We wanted them there. That's how we wanted to do it that time. But it kind of took the intimacy of me being pregnant and growing a life that would be our child. It kind of took it away from my husband and I and gave it to the family. Because family would, after they knew it was a boy, they would try to name it, or they would talk to my belly, calling it a name, giving me their opinions on what we should name it, and hounding us on what the name was going to be. I don't know if I've said this before, but my son didn't have a name. We did not name him until he was 2 days old, because we wanted to meet him and see who he was and give him a name that was right for him. And everyone was like, what's his name going to be? What's his name? And we're like, we're not naming him until he's born. The end. Like, stop bothering us. And they're like, well, what names do you think you like? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. We'll know when we see him. And this time, it's going to be a non-issue because they're not going to know if it's a him or a her. And that's our logic behind it. And I'm sure they're going to ask. And this time, I'm just going to be like, listen, stop asking us, because last time we were just kind of like, we don't know, and this time, no. I don't want people bugging us about the names. And it's not like you guys, like, I am like totally, if you guys want to give me suggestions for names and things like that, that's cool. But if you like start commenting, calling my baby something, that's when it's a problem. And not just like you guys, like mostly family. You know, they'll like come up to my belly and be like, how are you doing, little so-and-so? And I'm like, no, we get to name our child. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I'm sorry if that disappoints some of you guys. But I will be doing like gender prediction things. And obviously, if you follow my pregnancy, you'll find out when the baby is born what it is. But I want to put this out here before I even have a chance to know what the gender is. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. We are going to have our gender ultrasound hopefully on June 14th. I'll be 15 or 16 weeks that day. That is our 3-year wedding anniversary. So someone's going to watch our son for us, and it's just going to be my husband and I. We're going to go alone. We're going to find out. We're hopefully going to be able to keep it a secret. Yeah, so that's that. But like I was saying, we're going to do the gender predictions. So I'm planning on doing the IntelliGender, which I did for my son, and it was correct. What other? Oh, the Chinese calendar thing. That said a boy. I already did that one. There's something, if you pee on like a table, well, you put a table of baking soda in a cup, and then you pour your urine on it, and if it fizzes, that's a boy, and if it doesn't do anything, that's a girl. And basically, the urine in the baking soda will react if the urine is acidic, and that's more likely to be a boy. And if it's basic, then that would be a girl, just based on the pH. So I'll do that one. And oh, there's this other gender thing, and it's I'll look it up and put the name right here, but it's based on the location of the placenta early in pregnancy. Typically, you go by a transvaginal ultrasound, and if the placenta is on the left, it's a girl, and if the placenta is on the right, it's a boy. It's actually been shown to be 97% correct, and it actually was published in a journal article, and it was a doctor doing research to try to be able to determine the gender very early in pregnancy. In the case of gender-specific genetic disorders, that's what the research was for. So the results were like 97.2 for one of the sexes and 97.5 for the other sex. But the sample size of pregnant women was over 5,000, and they confirmed the gender at the gender ultrasound around 20 weeks, and then they confirmed it again at birth, and it was correct about 97% of the time. So, and the study was done at 6 weeks. So wherever the placenta was starting to implant at 6 weeks is what the study was done. In my ultrasound pictures, and I'll put one in here, and I did ask where the placenta was, and they said it was too early to tell. I don't know if you need a special ultrasound to see it, but the yolk sac is definitely on the left. And how the baby is, it's like feet and everything would be pointing to the left in my ultrasound picture. So, and its back is like to the side of the uterus. So probably if you would draw an umbilical cord up, it would be on the left, and that would be a girl. So that is what I get out of my ultrasound picture, is that it predicts a girl. So whenever I have my next ultrasound and we can see the placenta, I'll let you know for sure what side it's on. If it's a transvaginal ultrasound, then the picture is correct. If it's a transabdominal ultrasound, then it's a mirror image. So if it's on the left, it's really on the right. So if you guys look at your ultrasound pictures and they're just remember like what method they did to get the picture, and then if it was through the abdomen, remember to flip it. But I don't know, it's kind of fun. If any of you guys have early ultrasound pictures, check out where the placenta is in relation to the baby, and if you know the gender, let me know if it was right for you, because I think it's interesting. And I hadn't heard about that with my son when I was pregnant, so I have talked a lot, but that's what has been going on this week. We'll measure the belly. I'm sure it's grown, because like I told you, I didn't fit so well in my scrubs this weekend, so let's take a measurement here. But I'm not going to show you my belly this week, like by lifting my shirt up. You can kind of see, and this is a maternity shirt. I dug out all my maternity clothes the other day, so I figured I might as well be comfortable. But I think you can start to see a little, I don't know, something. Fat, probably. Okay, so we've grown 1 inch since last week, or since we started 3 inches. And since we did have the ultrasound, we know there's only one. So I told my mom today, I said, my stomach is growing, like it's already grown 3 inches. And she was like, are you sure there's only one in there? And I'm like, yeah, I am. But I haven't gained hardly any weight, just 1 pound. And I say just 1 pound because when I was pregnant with my son, I gained like 50. So 1 so far is not bad. And yeah, I gained 50 pounds and I lost them all. So that's good. It was all fluid. So whatever's going on in my stomach could be fluid. I do have edema in my legs when I'm done working. So that's already starting. Yay! I was so swollen last time, and you're going to hear me complain about that like every video, but it's true. Like 50 pounds of fluid. I lost it all in 3 weeks. That's how I know it was all fluid. So, okay, so next Wednesday I have my OB appointment. So I'll probably do my video, my like weekly video, Wednesday after my appointment. I do have a fetal Doppler, and I'm going to do a separate video on that, but be sure to check that out too. So thanks for watching. Bye, girls.